these are the 3 best attack strategies you need to use at Town Hall 14 here in 2023 in Clash of Clans. Let's start off with the Mass Electro Dragon strategy. This works incredibly well against bases with a lot of chain, so try to look for bases that have either buildings touching or a 1 tile gap in between. It should be pretty obvious. From there, you should also look at sweeper coverage. If it's really bad, those are the chances where you would want to use the Edrags. Edrags are slow, they attack slow, and realistically, the sweepers prevent a lot of their potential damage. So, attacking behind sweepers is what you should aim to looking for. So first things first, it's going to be your funneling. Funneling is really important with the Edrags, so you'll want to start off with your heroes, and then you could also use some other troops, such as an Electro Dragon. Basically, you can use a split hero funnel. This is using your Barbarian King on one side and your Archer Queen on the other. You can use an Electro Dragon as well to create a solid funnel, but the main goal of this is just to create a very cheap funnel where you still have a large portion of balloons, Edrags, and that way you can move into the base with those troops and just use your heroes to funnel. So next is going to be your Electro Dragons, the way to kind of send them in properly, but also the rage spells and the free spells. Basically, you're going to send in your Edrags, then balloons, and then the siege machine of your choice. Typically, the Stone Slammer is a lot better, you get more value off of it, even if it does pop a bit early. You do want to make sure that you use a early Grand Warden ability as you move everything in. It's going to help your Electro Dragons deal more damage, and the balloons are going to be able to look for more Seeking Air Mines. As you kind of move in, look for spots of great chain, and that's where you'll want to use the rage spells on. So don't use them all willy-nilly, try to make sure that you're getting value off of them. This is extremely important, so that way, you can also use your free spells against things such as Single Infernos, the Town Hall, air defenses. The rage spells are just there to provide much more damage across the base in order to make sure that you're able to get good chain, good value, and of course, let your Edrags move through. Last but not least, your back-end Royal Champion. Try to hold on to the back-end Royal Champion for as long as humanly possible. So that way you're able to allow your Edrags to get more value, and then your Royal Champion can clean up the rest of the structures that are pretty much causing a big issue. As long as there's no big key defenses like a Scattershot or even the Town Hall or the Single Inferno. Our next army is the Super Bowler Smash. Now this will work really well on a wide variety of bases, but if you're using it, you want to mainly look at using the Flame Flinger on one side, preferably to remove a large compartment, or remove the Town Hall. On the other side, the Grand Warden Walk is going to be used, and if there is a Multi-Inferno, you can have the option of sniping it down with a Rage spell. Then you just want to make sure that you're looking throughout the base and seeing if there's jump value, even if there is a channel splitting the base in two. So first things first, you are going to be funneling your Super Bowlers to go in. This is an active funnel, so you're basically using the Flame Flinger on one side and the use of the Grand Warden Walk on the other. The Flame Flinger's job is to remove a specific area. This includes the Town Hall, which usually against something like an anti-3 or a teaser base is really common. You want to make sure that you are protecting this Flame Flinger as much as humanly possible from stuff such as Expos and Mortars. Since Expos are able to deal a lot of damage to it very quickly, using stuff such as free spells and skeleton spells can actually save your attack. On the other side, the Warden Walk is being used in order to clear out a given area. This could be a multi-inferno or just a small area. This is where you could also take advantage of using the Rage spell. Now it's time to smash with the Super Bowlers. Once you've got a clear funnel set and you know how everything's going to be moving in, you'll want to make sure that you're sending them in. Using a Rage spell in order to help push them in. Rage spells are really powerful with the use of the Super Bowlers, but you'll also want to use a Grand Warden ability once you get into the core. Once they're in the core, they just do massive damage underneath a Warden ability and Rage. You'll want to make sure that you're bringing in the use of Super Wall Breakers if you need it, but jump spells are required so you can get from one end of the base to the other. This just allows you to smash through, and there really isn't any need for other spells because the Super Bowlers just synergize so well with the Rage. Now, similarly to the Edrags, this pretty much ends your attack with the Royal Champion on the back end. And it's a really simple thing. The back-end Royal Champion is just really good to clean up other structures that were left behind. That is the reason to why you're using this, and it's more often than not going to help you succeed really, really well in getting more 3 stars with the Super Bowler Smash, which is personally my favorite attack here at 14. And last but not least, we have another really strong strategy which I really enjoy using, which is the Zap Lalo Attack, a very flexible and very powerful lava balloon attack. In any case, you usually want to look for an Inferno within the core. Sometimes that core could consist of very minimal defenses, so using the lightning spells to remove that core Inferno helps with pathing towards the lava balloon section. But otherwise, this is pretty much using a Zap Quake in a certain area with a Sui hero and then the lava balloon. The Siege Machine can be very flexible, from using stuff such as the Battle Blimp and the Stone Slammer, all the way to even using the Flame Flinger. So with that being said, the first thing that you're going to want to do is mainly start by looking at the core. Try to look for an Inferno that you can remove, and that way you can use the 5 Lightning and 1 Earthquake method to removing it. Using an Earthquake then Lightning is the traditional way to be able to more comfortably clear the Inferno without the battle builders. In any case, you'll then want to use the Siege Machine of your choice, which could be the Flame Flinger, which in my opinion is very good against anti-3 style bases, since the Flame Flinger can basically clear it on its own. This is where then you have the Sui hero to move in. You mainly want to use this hero dive to go in for the enemy Archer Queen or the enemy Royal Champion, but you should also try to deal with the enemy Clan Castle troops, whatever it is. That is just going to help you in terms of getting a lot more value off of the base. The Royal Champion will also be used in order to make sure that you're able to get much more value off of this. It's incredibly important that you do this so you can more than easily create some very simple pathing. If you've got a bunch of troops going in towards your Flame Flinger, having a backup poison is really good at making sure that that doesn't really become an issue. And the Flame Flinger could also get the Town Hall. Now this pretty much ends you off with the Lava Balloon. Chances are you mainly want to look at how air defenses are placed, and you'll want to use 1 Lava Hound with about 3 to 4 groups of balloons. This is going to allow you to use spells such as the haste spells to get to key defenses like the scatter shots. You can even use the Grand Warren ability to protect headhunters to dealing with the enemy Royal Champion, and also to make sure that you're going in for something such as the scatter shot. In any case, you usually don't need spells as long as you get enough value from your hero dive, your siege machine, and your zap quake. It's just going to help you in terms of basically compressing the base down right after that and getting a massive amount of value. Just be very careful of a lot of red air bombs within the core or in a given area, because it could just melt your balloons. Cleanup is, of course, the final thing you just need to be aware of. Minions and lava pups are going to really help you. If you have any other troops such as sneaky goblins or even barbarians, they can really help clean up the rest of the base and help you get a more consistent 3-star. With all of these 3 attack strategies, these are just honestly incredibly strong. I haven't covered Town Hall 14 in a while, so definitely it's really nice, and you get to see 3 of the strongest attacks that right now are pretty powerful in the current game. So I'd highly recommend checking any of these 3 out. The links are, of course, in the description of the video, but you can see all the army compositions here as well. Otherwise, make sure you check out this video, because YouTube says it's actually right for you.